We came to Glenbuck, not knowing what we'd find. What we found was silence and legacy. A memorial in the middle of nowhere. A tribute to a man who changed football forever.
Welcome to today's episode where we are at the birthplace of arguably one of the world's most famous and world's best football managers ever, and that is Bill Shankly. We are at the village of Glenbuck today in Ayrshire, right on the border with Lanarkshire. Now, this is where Bill Shankly, the famous Liverpool manager, was born, and it's fact where his parents and all the rest of his family were born here too. Glenbuck was a mining village, and I say was because it is very much in the was. There's nothing left here of the village now, absolutely nothing. Most of it was demolished in the 1990s after the mining stopped and everybody drifted away. Today, however, there's what's known as a heritage village here, and it tells all of the lives and the tales of the people who lived here, with a very particular focus on Bill Shankly and his family.
This is Glenbuck, a village that no longer exists. No shops, no home, no people. But its story lives on, carved into benches, etched into stone, remembered by fans.
So essentially Glenbuck was a small mining village like hundreds of others in Scotland. But something very special happened here. Aside from Bill Shankly, 50 men over 5 decades made it to be professional footballers, and 2 took part in the 1901 FA Cup when they both played for Tottenham Hotspur. Sandy Tay and Sandy Brown both played in that 1901 final for Tottenham Hotspur, and what made it even more special was the fact that Tottenham Hotspur were the only non-league team to ever win the FA Cup. It's incredible to think, isn't it, that from a pool of such small numbers of men, that so many could have gone on to become professional football players. I mean, that can never have happened anywhere else in the world, surely. The FA Cup ended up a 2-2 draw, and it was replayed a week later. Spurs won 3-1, and Sandy Brown, amazingly, he scored in every single round of the tournament. So the village was already in decline when Bill Shankly was a child. In the 1930s, some of the mining had already stopped and people were starting to drift away then. But at its heyday in around 1900, there was about 1,250 people living here. Quite incredible, really, when you look at the fact there's nothing here. There was everything here that would have been there for a village community when Shankly and all his family were growing up. There was a post office, there was a phone box, there was a co-op, there was a green that people would play and dance on, and there was even a quoiting green here, which is quite incredible to think that people were playing sports like quoits in the middle of Ayrshire. The street where Shankly lived on was called Monkey Row. There were 12 members of his family, so they had not one but 2 properties on Monkey Row within the mining village. He had 4 brothers, and they all went on to play professional football. The local village team was called the Glenbuck Cherry Pickers. Now, it was founded in the 1870s, and over the decades just had this amazing trait of producing men who could really play football. It was just incredible that year after year more and more men would come through the ranks and then go on to play professional football. You have to remember as well that these were men who were living their lives as miners. Day by day they would go down the mine, do the terrible, dirty, heavy, hot work down the mine, and then come up, and every night and every weekend and every minute they had off, they would play football here in the village. And how's this for a statistic? There were 86 men who played for Glenbuck Cherries, and 50 went on to be professional footballers. 2/3 from one small mining village. What you can see behind me just looks like a field, doesn't it? It's not. If you look very closely, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, what's actually behind me is the football pitch that the local team used to play on. And if you see, it's slightly dipped down, and what the villagers would all do is they would all stand up here at the top in the village to watch down there. So down there, that's what you can see. Starting there from the right hand side, there's the goal mouth, all marked out. As we come across the pitch, sweeping left, you can see where they would have kicked off from the centre spot, marked by a white post. And then going over to the left, there's the other goal, and right in the corner there, you can just about see fluttering in the wind, I hope you can see it, there's a corner flag. And this is just how it would have been marked out at the time for the boys and the men who were playing there every single week. There we go, let's scroll over. Look at all those names. Alex Shankly, James Shankly, John Shankly, Robert Shankly, Willie Shankly. All members of the family who played for the Cherry Pickers. What do you think life was like here?
Pretty hard.
Would have been, yeah.
Imagine.
All the men going down the mines every day.
Yep.
Dirty, hot.
Dirty, hot.
Dangerous.
Dangerous. Shared facilities for the houses.
Mm.
And the weather's fine today, but you imagine probably 6 months of the year it's blowing a hoolie and raining sideways.
It is, and that's not going to be nice. But then they came out of the mines and all they wanted to do was play football.
Exactly, and if the wind's going that way and you're playing that way,
it's going to be hard, isn't it?
The goalie's got a hard job.
Very, very hard. Hard to believe, isn't it, that one of football's greatest managers ever grew up here, and there's nothing here anymore. It's just nothing. It's just fields. It's amazing. A man who would have had such an impact on so many parts of life at Liverpool and for the millions of supporters over the decades. And here there's a bench in his memory looking over the football pitch of Glenbuck. Beautiful way to remember a man who was very important to Liverpool FC. So we're here, we're at the memorial to Bill Shankly, and I've just been having a look at the information on the board, and it says that because there was such a large family here, 10 children, 2 adults, they extended the property, and the low walls that you can see here are the outline of literally where they lived in their extended cottage. So William Shankly was born 2nd of September 1913. He was known by his family as Willie and known to the world as Bill.
it's exclusive. The Spine Club at Liverpool is an institution. And if you're a member of the club, you feel as if you're a member of a big society, where you've got thousands of friends all around about you.
Here to Liverpool, as to Anfield, I've drummed it into our players time and again that they are privileged to play for you. And if they didn't believe me, they believe me now.
These treasured possessions by fans who brought them here specifically to put them at Memorial. It's just quite a strange feeling, really. There's even a ticket down there to the FA Cup in 1965 that somebody's brought along to leave at the Memorial. A very, very special piece of memorabilia for them, and to leave it here is even more special.
I won't untie the scarf. It starts here. Some people think that football is a matter of life and death.